Right, so the final part of this creating this part here. So we need a new work plane, we need an additional work plane. So if we select this top surface here and we go to reference geometry and plane, this will you have to wait a few seconds for it to think about it. Initially it's put a work plane 10mm above that surface, so we need to flip that so it's 10mm below the surface, and now we need to make that 1mm. So we're creating a work plane 1mm below that surface. So we're happy with that. First thing we can do is actually hide the work plane. We don't need to see it. So if we select that work plane and sketch on the work plane, if we do Control and number 8, what we're going to do is scroll into this corner here. We're going to transfer that curve onto the work plane. So if we go Convert Entities and click on that curve and then tick, it doesn't look like we've done a lot, but what we've actually done is we've actually drawn that line on that work plane. We're going to exit the sketch, so that little sketch we've drawn now has just gone grey. So what we now need to do, if I move my part around, is scroll into here. I'm going to use that point there on the end of that curve. If we go to sketch and under here we go 3D sketch, I'm going to draw a circle without drawing it on a plane. We're going to draw on here, we're going to drag out, we're on the XY work plane, as you can see there. We need to dimension that to 0.5mm. It's a little bit like the curve we did here. It's the same size. Here we did the 0.5 and we rotated it in a circle around. So we tick this and it's come out of that sketch again. So we've got two sketches, we've got this path here and we've got a circle. And what we're going to do is under features there's a thing called a sweep boss. We're not going to sweep a boss, we're going to sweep a cut. So we're going to sweep a cut. Now from these two little diagrams here you can see this is the shape that we want, this is the path we want to follow. So the shape we want is the circle and the path we want to follow must be this path here. Now it looks like initially it's going to be a solid, but it's not, it's a cut. So if we tick that, we've now cut out of that material. You can see here we've cut a shape out. Again, that is where, if I press Control and 7, that is where when we put the top together, it's going to, a feature is going to snap in here and hold the front together. The last thing we need to do is mirror. So if we select the cut first of all, so we've got it highlighted, if we hit mirror, and then we need the front plane, it's going to mirror that cut over to the other side. So if we tick that, without having to draw more funny sketches and sort of 3D sketches of circles, we've mirrored that feature over to there. So if we save, that essentially is the last thing we have done on that part. That's going to be the top of your keyring. The very final thing you can do is you can leave it like that, or you can put some initials on the top. So if you sketch, Control 8, do a control curve, which is a centre line, and draw a line here. So that's that there. Press Escape. Go to the text tool, do the control line here, which is this line, that needs to be in there, and then the text. Now we can only have like a maximum of 3 letters. They've got to be fairly large letters to cut out here. So if I use my initials, MJM, still a little bit small here. We're going to not use a document font, I'm going to make it bigger. So if we click on font here, right, I need it, say, 5mm high, that's better, and I'm going to make it bold. we don't want brush script. Brush script sort of the letters overlap and it doesn't work. We've got to keep it, unfortunately, something fairly straightforward. Let's try that one. Maybe a bit rubbish, the spacing. Perhaps we can space them better here, like that. How about that? And it means we can go a little bit bigger now. I can go, say, 6mm. That's alright. So if we tick that, that's my sketch. What am I going to do with my sketch? I'm going to cut in. Thickness of material is 1mm, so if I make this 0.25 of a millimetre deep, then that. So that will be my obviously my part here. So I'm going to save that and I'm going to finish the movie.